Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome back to episode 31 of our All the Mods 9 to the Sky Let's Play series. For today, we are working towards progressing all the Modium. We've gotten all the Modium. We're working on Vibranium and Unobtainium today, seeing how far we can get, but it requires us to dive a little bit into Blood Magic and Ars Nouveau, so let's get started. Welcome back, my friends, to another wonderful, glorious, blue cloudy day here in the world of TheAndrata, where today, well, we are continuing with our progression in all the mods, the Modium thing pack mod thing going on. We got all the Modium last episode. I'd like to work on getting ourselves Vibranium and Unobtainium going, so that way we can start doing, all the things that are require those things. So yeah, anyway, that's where we're at. Let's get ourselves moving. So last episode we had gotten our occultism married crusher going, and he's doing his thing, crushing up all the Modium and everything. We got our laser drill and all that stuff, and we're doing pretty good. Like overall, our total of all the Modium is 17,000. I have not AFK'd for that long. I opened up the game this morning before I was recording because I wanted to get things planned out and all that stuff, and then I ate some breakfast and stuff. It's probably been like an hour, and we already have 17,000 all the Modium. So that process is ridiculously fast. In this laser drill, I mean, it doesn't generate all the Modium like ridiculously quick. It's probably one about every, let's see, every 2 seconds or so, but we don't get one every 2 seconds also. But yeah, about every 2 seconds we're getting an all the Modium. But remember, each one of those gets 6x'd. Oh, I got a hole over here. When I prep things, I generally do it on my laptop, and it's I can't shift scroll wheel very well on my laptop trackpad with my dank, so that's why sometimes you find random holes around here. I could hook a mouse up to my laptop, but yeah, anyway, I parsec into my gaming computer and do some work while I'm on the couch. That being said, I'd like to continue progressing through our Vibranium, progressing through all the Modium into getting Vibranium and getting Unobtainium. With that, most likely we're going to want to get another 2 Merid Crushers to handle the crushing of these, because we're going to do the same thing. We're going to set up this. I'm probably going to switch this Ender Chest over to, say, I don't know, maybe a modular router or something that can push items into a centralized Ender Chest, maybe. Haven't decided 100% how we're going to handle that, but this will be our Vibranium and everything set up. I'll just repeat and copy this here and then another one above it. And then we have all the things going and doing the thing. But yeah, so we need to make ourselves our stuff. So in order to get our tiered up, okay, Vibranium and then Unobtainium. Unobtainium, to be honest, is not complicated to get other than the fact that it requires Vibranium. But we just need to get into some Ender IO and get a Prescient Crystal, which requires a little bit of soul binding, which requires us to get a little bit into this. But all of these things are I can craft all of this stuff for the most part. I just need to get alloy smelting going, and we can craft all of those things. So getting the Prescient Crystal doesn't seem to be like it's going to be too difficult. I don't think like anything crazy is going to be required. 8 enchantment levels for that, but like again, once we get 9 of them, we don't need to get any more. So yeah, like I'm not too concerned about it. Vibranium, on the other hand, though, is going to require us to dive into Ars Nouveau, because we have not done literally we have done like no magic in this pack so far. It's all been tech, and we've pretty much gotten through all of the tech mods. So it is time to dive into some magic. But we need to get into Ars Nouveau to get all 4 of the cardinal essences, along with some insanium, and we need to get into blood magic and get some buckets of life. And again, if we do the same process, we do this 3 times, it'll get us in a block of it, and we can go ahead and drill it up. So that's our goal today. I want to start out with the buckets of life because I feel like that's going to be the easiest portion of things. So we're going to go ahead and get ourselves a blood altar set up from blood magic and a sacrificial knife, and we're going to grab ourselves some buckets. We're going to need 3 total buckets for this. So yeah, let's get it going. So I figure I'm going to set up my blood magic altar over here, and eventually it's going to expand up. Once we get to tier 5s, this will get raised up and everything, but for now it can just chill here. I don't need to automate anything, though I do know that we can life essence can be pumped into AE2, correct, as a fluid. So we can put this inside of AE2 and be able to move it around with applied energistics, which is great. And the same thing applies to source. There is a source acceptor from AE2, and it's from the Ars Energistique mod. So Ars Energistique. See, and the problem is that it has those accents, so I can't really do anything else. But Ars Energistique has a source acceptor, and then there is, I think, the source. There's something else that we have to have. You have to have two things in order to get it into AE2. Maybe source converter, and then you can plug that in and get it into your AE2 system, and then you can move the source around with it. Kind of cool. Anyway, blood altar. You get a blood altar, fairly simple to craft, as you saw. Just requires some stone, furnace, and some gold, along with a sacrificial knife. That is the beginnings of blood magic. And if we pop into the quest here, it is the beginning of the quest chain. So with that, we can go ahead and we can start doing the thing by stabberating ourselves. Once we stabberate ourselves, we will end up getting life essence. Now, normally, you won't get, I mean, you're not going to get a ton of life essence out of this. I think it's 200 millibuckets, but it also damages you. But since we happen to be pretty darn OP by having saturation and regeneration 3 and stuff on us, we aren't going to take, like, we're going to heal pretty quickly and be pretty good. Like, we've already gotten 2 buckets out of this, and now we have our 3 buckets. So being OP and having all this stuff available to us makes this super easy. Just be careful you don't end up killing yourself. But like, we can kind of sort of just spam this until we get pretty close, and then get this up to max. Almost. I don't know why it's not staying at 10 buckets, but hey, whatever. So then we can just go ahead and get our buckets of life essence. Just throw it in top of there, and it's gonna fill it up. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it can be time in a bottle. So we can go ahead and offhand do that to get our buckets of life. I don't know why I said buckets. We got our bakas of life, and there we go. So we got 3 buckets of life to be able to do the thing. Now, we are going to need to use this later, so I'm just going to shove that into my backpack, but that takes care of the first portion of things that we needed, and the only mod that's not Ars Nouveau related over here. So in order to get this done, we need to actually dive into Ars Nouveau, and you're going to see I have a whole bunch of stuff on our to-do list because, well, we've got to get into the mod, and we have not done anything with Ars Nouveau. So our first step here is going to be get this worn notebook, which is our documentation, but we can utilize that to do nothing, apparently. So we can utilize that to get trashed, and we can go ahead and make ourselves our novice spellbook. Starting out, simple novice spellbook. We need to learn how to make an axe. I should just teach the system how to do that, but oh well. And there we go. Okay. So with that, we have our first spellbook from Ars Nouveau. We can start crafting spells. We're pretty far into the pack, so we might as well go ahead and upgrade that to the Mage's version. This requires some blaze rods and stuff and diamonds. However, getting us up to the Archmage tier, which is the next tier, is not something we can do yet because we need to get these wild attributes. I also don't think I have any totems of undying. Correct. So we're going to have to figure out how to get totems of undying outside of evokers. Is evokers the only way? Kind of sort of looks like that. So we'll have to see, how do we get an evoker to spawn in? Is there a thing for evokers? No? I don't know. We'll figure something out with that. I'll look that one up later. But anyway, so we got our Ars Nouveau spellbook, which is pretty great and handy. Now we can actually cast spells. If we open this up, I believe C is the default key. Opens up the UI so you can start crafting all of your spells. And it also includes the documentation from that worn notebook so you can see everything. So one book handles everything and does all of your stuff for you. Ars Nouveau spellcrafting is really super simple. It's kind of a very basic form of programming, but it's like extremely basic. First thing you got to do is, what are you going to do? What are you going to target, or how are you going to target something? Are you going to use a projectile? Are you going to target yourself? Or are you going to touch something? So for example, if we want to do touch, we can then do a break, and we can call our spell break, and we can create it. And now I believe it's, V opens up this little wheel that you can click on, select your spells. And if we come down here and we touch break, bam, we break the block. Pretty simple. Okay. And it's an instant break, which is great. It is not a silk touch, though you can get silk touch, but it's an instant break, and it just utilizes your little mana over here in order to do so. So if you're playing, Ars Nouveau is a fantastic way to get like a quick instant breaking of blocks. in the beginning parts of a pack, right? So you can have it acts as, I believe, diamond tier as well. So you can craft up, or you can break down all the things that you need, and it's instant, makes mining a little faster. But anyway, that's our spell book. That we don't need to make any spells at the moment, though, so we're going to go ahead and set that aside because our goal is to get ourselves progressed through here. Now, I did go ahead and I know we're going to need archwood logs and archwood planks, so I went ahead and started working on getting us some cascading archwood. It is EMC-able, so I made a new matter condenser, or energy condenser, and I taught it to make cascading archwood logs. Okay, so we have that going, which is why we have so many of them. Do I need 2,000 plus of them? No, I probably can go ahead and actually disable this and let that fill up with its cobblestone. But for now, we have enough, right? That's mainly the reason that I had AFK'd, was to get ourselves the cascading archwood that we would need. So with that being said, we can go ahead and collect our rewards here. You give us some saplings, thank you, and we can continue on. Our next major goal is to make ourselves an imbuement chamber. The imbuement chamber is going to be what allows us to create source gems, and source gems are kind of sort of the crafting bottleneck, I guess you could say, from Ars Nouveau. So we need to make ourselves what's called an imbuement chamber, utilizing some of those planks. We're also going to need to make ourselves some pedestals, though we need source gems to make the pedestals, so I'm not going to be too concerned about it. And then source stone is some kind of stone surrounded by source gems. So for now, we're going to go ahead and get our imbuement chamber, and we're going to set this up. And I decided I was going to set Ars Nouveau up over here, since we ended up not doing planting for any of our seeds and all of that. We might as well just do it this way. So we take our imbuement chamber, and then I believe, let me just double check. I think it's lapis. Let's see, to create one of the main crafting source gem requires source. It will passively create source, but we are going to want to speed that up. It requires arcane pedestal, source gems. You can give me some more of them, thank you. And oh, we got the wild and horn. I was actually wanting that. It's actually pretty darn good that I got that now, because I can go ahead and do this thing, and we'll see what that's going to do in a bit. Okay, I think it's lapis that needs to go inside of this in order to convert over into source gems, correct? Crafting source gem, add source nearby to increase craft speed. Okay, can I do that? Oh yeah, I can. Okay, cool. And it can be automated. We can go ahead and we can easily just hopper for now. Let's get 2 hoppers. And on the bottom there, you can go ahead and do that. And let me grab the source gems that we have. Create a basic filter. There we go. And then we can put a hopper on top. Let me get some dirt. And then a hopper on top. And bam. Now we'll get a stack of source gems. And it's just going to be automated. We can go ahead and tick accelerate it again so it can just do it quickly. Pull in that source, and that'll get us going to start with our source. I don't like that I can't. The hitbox of this takes up the whole frame. I wish it was cut out right there so I could access the hopper, but that's okay. So this is going to do its thing. It's going to make us our source gems, so we can let that passively do it while we work on getting ourselves our other stuff that we're going to need. Okay, so we're going to need to work on getting ourselves source stones and a source jar, along with some sort of source link, because we need to make more source, so we need to do it faster than letting this thing passively do it for us. So we are going to figure out some way to do that. And I think the best way for us is going to be to use the Vitalic source link. Since we have a mob farm, we can go ahead and set stuff up over in that mob farm area. The only problem is getting that stuff from our mob farm over to here is going to be a challenge, but for now we can, run back and forth and do the thing. We're just trying to get through this so we can get to the vibranium. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and see if we can't craft ourselves a source jar. Yes, we should be able to once we get some archwood slabs. Just make a stack of those. Go ahead. So source jar, or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5. I like the idea of 5. So we have source jars. And then we're going to want to go ahead and make ourselves our source links. Okay, now the source link that we're going to go with is the Vitalic source link. The Vitalic source link takes mob death and it generates source. Okay, or mob breeding. We could set it up over there and have one sitting over there. But the Vitalic source link is crafted by getting a Glistering Melon slice and some source gems, and we have a Vitalic source link. Okay. Hopefully this is enough for us to get this going. So let's go ahead and pop over to our mob farm and set this bad boy up. Mob death happens over here. Now, I don't know how close this needs to be. Like, can this chill up here, maybe? And then we get some source jars around it? Does that count? I mean, I see stuff happening. What I don't understand happening is that. What is happening with you guys? There we go. Funky. Okay. Yeah, look, there we go. We have essence being pushed in. Man, why is that baby Enderman just able to be free? Why aren't they getting pushed? Does the Ender thing block the fan? And so that's a safe zone? I don't like that. Anyway, so we're getting source, and we're actually getting a pretty decent amount. There's 34% full already just from this one Vitalic source link. I could even set up another one over here because this counts as mob death too. So I think let's go ahead and do that, and then that'll be passive. So let's get another Vitalic. We're also going to put one over by the cows. Let's see how well that does. So we're going to want 2 more totals of these. Do I not have any more watermelon? I don't. That was my only watermelon slice. Watermelon. Why is watermelon not like real? Oh, because it's melon. Duh. Melons. Can I craft melons using nature essence? I can, and then I can just break those down. Is there like a way to break them down? Can I put them in a multi-servo? Nope, I have to unpack it. Sawmill, cutting board, like, and I have to do it on a cutting board? All right. Do I have a cutting board out, or is it in here? I know I have the knife in here. Oh, it's not a knife? What do you want? Knife. Melon. Melon slices. Do I have this backwards? There we go. I did. Perfect. And auto clicking for the win. All right, give me this back. Melons, 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 cutting board, iron knife, go away. Perfect. All right, so we got our melons. So we can go ahead and make ourselves another Glistering melon slice and then a Vitalic source link or 2. And then we have our source jar. So I'd like to take one. Let's get some wheat. Probably some more wheat. Can I craft wheat? I thought I showed the little plus like it knew how to craft wheat, but it disappeared. So if I grab my Vitalic source link and I go place it by the cows, and I let the cows breed instead of the chickens now. Oh my goodness, go away from me. Shift right click there and bam. Okay, so that'll breed the cows. So if I take a Vitalic source link and a source jar, how are you going to do for me here, buddy? They kind of don't seem to be breeding. I don't see the thing doing the whoo thing, but we'll see. But we can go ahead and set this other one up along with some more source jars in the by our mob farm. Let's just grab 2 more, and then I can have 4 each. And then that should be, I mean, to get us going, that should be more than what we need. Can you fly, please? Thank you. All right, so that one can go there. And then we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, and Vitalic source link. So the death from these guys should. Is it only hostile mobs? Nope. Okay, it's working now. Okay, cool. So we have 56%. That one's 8%. And we just need it to go faster overall. Yeah, we just want speed on this. Now, it was mentioned to me a little while ago. We're going to pivot just a little bit. If I take a timer from RF Tools and stick it onto the or even like something that can, is there redstone clock? Yeah, what about a redstone clock even? Chiseled stone bricks, really? You can't just just be regular stone bricks. Oh, don't do that. Give me that. Thank you. Okay, so now we should be able to make a redstone clock. Maybe with one of these two. From what I was told, this is a while ago, if we pulse the dreadful dirt, it causes mobs to spawn faster. I don't know what is that, how often it's taking place? Or is that slowing down? Oh, it does seem to be going faster now. Look at that. Okay. And that's just off of this one. How high do you go? 99, 100. I'm just going to leave it at 100. Okay. Now, I'm assuming frequency is like how fast it's pulsing? Or does a lower number better? Does a lower number better? Wow, that's great English. To change pulse frequency, sneak to increase faster. Okay. I mean, it's happening faster. I definitely noticed that is spawning much faster now. Okay, I like that. Let's go grab another one of those for the other side. Forget the timer. I don't think we need to even try that. I think this is just going to work great. So then we can, that's that side already. So we can go ahead and place this one here. And then just, bam. Okay. So now are you going to spawn passive mobs faster now too? Look at that. This is working great. I could set up more of those. And this would just be ridiculously overwhelmed with it. Okay, but look, we already got 2 full source jars from just this side and maybe one on this side. 98, 100% full, and 100% full. We got 4 full source jars from this. I like that. Okay, so with that being done, that means that we are now able to start working on getting all of our enchanting done. In order to make the different essences from Ars Nouveau, we have, it's not a fairly difficult craft, to be honest, but we're going to need the water essence, we need the fire essence, we need the earth essence, and we need the air essence. In order to make these, they're fairly simple. It costs 2,000, which I believe is a full source jar, but it's just snow, kelp, water, bam, okay? And then for the fire essence, flint, gunpowder, torch. Air essence, this is the complicated one, okay? We need Wilden Wings, which we don't have available to us. Iron ingot, dirt bricks, or dirt, and then some sort of seeds will get us the earth essence. So air essence is our bottleneck. That's going to be the thing that we're going to struggle with the most here. So what we're going to do is we're going to end the episode here. Next episode, we are going to come back. We are going to start figuring out enchanting from Ars Nouveau, or at least utilizing the enchanting apparatus to create these things. And it's actually not the enchanting apparatus we need, is it? It is the imbuement chamber. Do I need to get the enchanting apparatus at all? Magic armor upgrades? No. No. We're not making any of these things. We are going to make the tablet. Does the tablet have to be made in that? No. Okay, I guess we don't need the enchanting apparatus at all. We are going to need a ritual brazier, and our goal is to get this tablet of summon Wilden. With this, we can summon it's a ritual that will summon a Wilden. Specifically, we're going to work on Wilden Chimera, which will get us the Wilden horns and all of that stuff. We're going to use a data model so we can automate those inside of a can't remember the name of that mod right now. Hostile neural network setup. So we can get those Wilden Wings on craft. But anyway, that's going to be for next episode. So if you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Tips and tricks for getting the essence. My biggest problem is going to be getting the essence from my mob farm over to here. I know I can utilize AE2. I guess I could set up one of the those wireless AE2 things over there, and then see how we can use that source acceptor maybe. Like, that was Ars Energistique. See, that's a source cell. I'm probably going to need something like that too. So we're going to need a source acceptor. We're going to need a source converter. And I'm going to imagine we're going to need some sort of source storage cell, because it's source is not a fluid. It is a special material, so it's not going to count like our fluids that we currently have. So maybe next episode we'll look into doing this before we get into any of this other stuff and seeing how that works. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Can't remember if I said all that. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.